Good evening to one and all present here. It is my privilege to welcome Mr. Mahesh Jambardi sir, Chief Operating Officer of Excelsoft Technologies, our special speaker for today's Focus Assist session at Sri Ramakrishna Vidyashala. I request everybody to keep rising for the Shanti Mantra. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Tachayyoravruಣಿmahe Gatu Yajnaya Gatu Yagnapataye Daivi Swastirastu Naha Swastirmanushebhyaha Urdhvanjigatu bheshajam Shanno astu dvipade Shanchatushpade Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. I will now give you a brief insight about the Focus Assist sessions in Vidyashala. Focus Assist is a motivation and career guidance program for the students incorporating the best practices across various disciplines of study. Swamijis, alumnus, and key resource people mentor to the students to widen their intellectual and emotional horizons and deepen their spiritual and cultural connection. Though discussion was a part of Vidyashala campus life for decades, an organized platform was initiated a couple of years ago titled Focus Assist. Now there will be a video presentation on Focus Assist. I will now give you a brief introduction about Mr. Mahesh Jambardi sir, our special speaker for today. Mahesh Jambardi sir is the Chief Operating Officer of Excelsoft Technologies and Private Limited. Sir has the overall responsibility of the e-learning line of business at Excelsoft. He is the overseer of business development, delivery, product, and people management. He is accountable for meeting business plans, including revenue and profit targets for the e-learning line of business. He was also the director, consulting and solutions delivery and product manager at Sabre Holdings. Sir completed his MTech in computer science from IIT Kanpur and his MS in systems science from Louisiana State University. He was also the research assistant in the Department of Computer Science at Louisiana State University. He is the convener of the IT panel, Confederation of Indian Industries, Mysuru chapter. Now I request Sir to address the gathering.
जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः नमः श्री अतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे. ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯ ಕರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದ ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯುಕ್ತೇಶಾನಂದಜಿ ಮಹಾರಾಜ್ ಅವರೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ರೂವಾರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಆಫ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲಾ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮಹಿಪಾಲಾನಂದಜಿಯವರೇ, ನನ್ನ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಗೆಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯ ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ NR ಅಶೋಕ್ ಅವರೇ, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂತಿರುವಂತಹ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಚರ್, ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಬಂಧು, ಅವರ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಈ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಈ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊಂದಲ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ನೆನಪುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿವೆ, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಟೂರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಿತ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲೋಚನ್ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಆವಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ದೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನಂದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಬರೋದು, ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಆಪ್ಯಾಯಮಾನವಾದ, ಭಾಳ ಇಷ್ಟವಾದಂಥ ವಿಚಾರ. ನನ್ನ ಜೀವಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 20 ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ವಾಸ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಮನೆಗಳು, ಒಂದೆರಡು ಸ್ವಂತ ಮನೆಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಅವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವು ಯಾವುವು ನನ್ನ ಮನೆ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ವಂತ ಮನೆ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾರಿ ನೀವು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯೇ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರೋದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನೀವು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಅನಿಸೋದು ಖಂಡಿತ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯ, ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಗೆಳೆಯರ ಜೊತೆ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೈ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ಮೈ ಕ್ಲೋಸೆಸ್ಟ್, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಬಲ್, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಲಯಬಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೈ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲಾ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಬೇಕು, ಆಂಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್, ಡರ್ಮೆಟಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಥೋಪೆಡಿಷನ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲಾ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಥ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಹುಡುಗ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಆಂಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟು ಅಥವಾ ಡರ್ಮೆಟಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ತಮಾಷೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ಲು, In my family, we don't choose the doctor by the medical school they went to, but by the high school they went to. So ಅಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ, why is that? The reason is that if somebody has passed out of Vidyashala, we automatically attach a certain degree of competence, integrity, character to that person. So that's what we expect from a doctor, right? Competence, integrity, and character. So that is the reason why we all tend to again and again go back to Vidyashala alumni, come back to Vidyashala from time to time. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅದೃಷ್ಟ. ನಾವು ಇದೇ ಥರ ಭಾಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಾನು ಈ ಥರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಥರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಯಾರೋ ಇದೇ ಥರ ತಲೆ ಬಿಳಿ ಕೂದಲಿರೋರು ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡೋರು ಆಗಾಗ. ಅವಾಗ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, 20 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ, ಅಯ್ಯಪ್ಪ 20 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲ, ಓಬಿರಾಯನ ಕಾಲ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಈಗ ನಾನೀಗ ಆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಭಾಳ ಏನು ಎತ್ತರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಶೋಕ್ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂತಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಪುಟ್ಟ ಹುಡುಗ, ಸುಮಾರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎತ್ತರ ಇದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಾಲು ಅಥವಾ 2ನೇ ಸಾಲು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ. ಸೊ ಆದರೆ ಆವಾಗಿಂದ ಇವಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ನನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದರಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಪಕಾರ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ. ಸೊ can we go to the next one? So the topic is translating leadership, Vidyashala lesson in corporate life. Good. Forward yadida. So to succeed in corporate life, or in any part of life, any aspect of life, confidence is the most important thing. So I'm going to, can you read out this statement, all of you together? So everything today is, all quotations are from Swami Vivekananda today. So the next time you can, where should I point this to? Okay. All right, there are 2 more quotations. Go ahead and read that. See, I'm sure that you have read these, you have heard these in various speeches, right? When I was in Vidyashala, I've also heard many of these statements. Swami Jagadatmananda, who was there at that time, he was always speaking to us about Vivekananda. Vivekananda was his favorite topic. His love for the country, his ability to rouse people and call them to action in the service of the country. So those were the topics many, many times. It appeared that it was abstract at that point of time, but I have realized throughout my life that probably if you forget everything you learn in Vidyashala and remember just one thing, it is this self-confidence, confidence in yourself, that will be the most important learning from Vidyashala. How did we learn that? We saw it in action. I'll just give you a couple of examples. Swami Sureshananda ji, ಅವರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋರು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋರು, ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವುದೋ IIM ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಕಂಪನಿ CEO ಆಗಿ ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣಾಶ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸೋದು. ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಲೆಂಟ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಆರ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹಿಸ್ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಪಾಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಬೇರೆ ಸಾಧು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಯಾರೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹವೆವರ್ ಬಿಗ್, ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಜೊತೆ he had the knack of interacting with great confidence. He was not fazed by any politician, he was not fazed by any big government officer, anybody. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಗೋದು. ಆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಆ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ he is able to solve all these problems ಅಂತ. Similarly with Srikanthaya sir, as the headmaster of the school, ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ he was supremely confident in solving those problems. How is that confidence becomes a basis of all skills ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, once you have confidence, then you get ambition to accomplish big things. If you don't have confidence, you will not have ambition. If you have confidence, you have ambition to accomplish big things, and that ambition will mean you will acquire all the resources and skills required to accomplish that. It may be learning something by yourself, pooling other people, getting all the resources and skills, and you will be willing to work very hard to accomplish those things. And once you accomplish it, it will only increase your confidence, and then this becomes a virtuous cycle. So confidence, ambition or goal, lofty goal, ability to create a lofty goal for yourself, acquire the skills, acquire the resources, work hard to accomplish it, and then that boosts your confidence again. This cycle keeps repeating and you'll keep on circling upward. And that is what happens as you practice confidence. First, it starts with confidence. I mean, this is something that you're already familiar with, all the stories, whether it is Steve Jobs or whether it is Bill Gates or Narayan Murthy, anybody who has started an organization, right? So I want to tell about my own company. Mr. Sudhanma, our CEO, when he started the company 22 years back, he wanted to build an e-learning product and sell it globally, testing product, okay? To conduct the test. So 22 years back, nobody in India, right, 22 years back was around 2000, nobody in India thought that they could build a software product and sell it across the world, right? He had that very lofty vision and he had confidence in himself, and then he set out and he worked very, very hard, and he wanted to acquire the first global customer. Eventually he did. Guardian Group UK became his first global customer. He didn't even look at the Indian market. Indian market was not ready for software at all. Forget about testing software. So everybody was doing, including Infosys, was doing services for somebody, whereas this man thought that he would build a product and sell it globally. Today, some of the world's biggest testing bodies use Excelsoft software. Swami asked me to tell a little bit about it. For example, all of the driver's licenses issued in United Kingdom, the theory test in driver's license, there is a theory test and a practical test, right? So the theory test is taken on software built by Excelsoft. The New York Civil Service hires about 200,000 candidates, 200,000 recruits every year for various jobs in the whole state of New York. The software used for testing the candidates is built by Excelsoft here in Mysuru. So because he had that vision that I'll build a software product and I'll sell it globally, he was able to accomplish that. I'll not mention all our customers' names. Cambridge University Press is a customer, Pearson Education is a customer, Brigham Young University is a customer. More than 70% of Excelsoft's revenues come from outside India only. Okay, he had that ambition that you can build a product here and then the world will accept it. That ambition, that the confidence and the ambition drove him to work very hard, and that's how this software was created, and you have a successful company because of that. So please make sure that you always feel very, very confident and then bring all the rest to you. The second thing that I learned, so I want to add one more thing about the confidence. When Shambhavanandaji thought of building Vidyashala, I believe he did not have a single penny. There was no money at all. He had this great vision. And because of that confidence, everything else happened at a later point of time. Now Swami Muktidanandaji is trying to build Viveka Smaraka. That will also happen. That will also happen as long as that confidence is there and collectively everybody works together. So that said, the next thing I want to talk about. So this is what I said. You need to have confidence in your ability and confidence in acquiring newer abilities. It never stops. You keep on learning, and that is what allows you to succeed. The other very important aspect to succeed in corporate life is interpersonal skills. And can you read the statement? What is this saying? What is it talking about? It is talking about the inability of Indians to work together and build something great. A lot of intelligent people might be there, and this is what Swamiji said in the 19th century. Okay? So let us believe that we have overcome this challenge. We are able to work together. We are able to solve problems. Recent Chandrayaan or ISRO would not have happened without that. A lot of things are happening in the country today. That means this problem that Swamiji talked about, we are slowly overcoming as a nation. So we are not where Swamiji saw us 200 years back. So what did we learn? What is the most important thing that I learned in Vidyashala about this interpersonal skills? For people to work together, one of the important skills is knowing when to lead and when to follow. If you want to be always the leader and you expect everyone else to follow, that will not happen. That will not happen. And regardless of your title, whether you are COO, CEO, you are not always the leader. Your title does not confer leadership. Your title only confers authority. But that is not leadership. Leadership is making sure that the right person is assigned with the right task and you follow that person. I'll give you an example. In Vidyashala, what we learned is, I was asking Parikshit and Lochin about this. So we had a laundry secretary, right? This is not this hall. Today's library is where the laundry clothes were laid out. All the pressed and ironed laundry clothes were laid out. So when you come to that room to collect your clothes, the person in charge is the laundry secretary and the assistant secretary. Whether you are a general secretary, whether you are president, whatever you are, right? You have to follow the rules laid out by the laundry secretary. In the dining hall, the leadership is the dining secretary, food secretary. Food secretary tells what needs to be done. Yav line ge serve ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಲೈನ್ ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Whatever else you are in Vidyashala, you may be the NCC commander, but food secretary ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು dining hall ಅಲ್ಲಿ. When you go to the NCC or when you go to the band field, when you are in gymnastics, there are different leaders. Or when you play games, you have a captain, right? So this is something that I absorbed in Vidyashala. I could not have articulated this, but this is something I absorbed in Vidyashala, which shows that you need to know when to lead and when to follow. And in an organization, different people bring different skills, right? Like in an orchestra, somebody plays this instrument, somebody plays another instrument. But if you are able to understand this, then you can work very well with each other, because if you don't, you cannot succeed. You cannot build software, you cannot build a building, you cannot build a ship, you cannot launch a rocket if you do not know when to lead and when to follow. So this is one of the important skills that I learned in Vidyashala that has helped me. Right. The second thing that we all learned in Vidyashala is working together, always keep the work at the center. It is not the individual who matters. It is the work that matters. So, for example, the school day has to happen, right? Band has to happen, the parade has to be practiced, gymnastics, prize distribution, drama, everything has to happen. And it cannot be done by one person. It cannot be done by one person. It cannot be done by 10 people also. It requires teachers, Swamijis, everybody working together to pull off a very successful school day. And everybody's focus is not who the individual is. Everybody's focus is what the work is, how it needs to be done, and make sure that that gets done correctly. And as long as you can keep that and keep your egos aside, this is a big problem. I don't know whether you may not experience it at your age. Ego is the biggest problem in working together. So a lot of people, that's the reason why Swamiji says that you get 3 ideas and you fall apart in 4 minutes. The reason is that everybody has an ego and it has to be done my way, and I'm the most important person, my contribution is the biggest. Taming this ego and working together, keeping the work at the center is extremely important in an organization. I face the challenge of people butting their egos with each other and the work not getting done, or work getting delayed, or being done shabbily. So this, and this needs to be practiced, and you need to start practicing it and cultivating it. And Vidyashala is the best place to start that. And the other thing that I learned in Vidyashala is never try to rise at someone else's expense. So I may share an incident. Maybe there is not enough time to share the incident, but one of my Vidyashala students, Ravi Shankar Joshi, taught me this. That even when you can you can raise yourself by pushing somebody down, you don't do it. And the first time I observed it, I was quite surprised, because that is not how I was, right? And I absorbed that lesson, and I keep on practicing that even today, and make sure that others practice within the organization also. You never put down somebody in order to raise yourself, because the moment you do that, you lose their confidence. They will start hating you. They will start creating problems. You cannot lead them. You cannot lead them. You cannot work with them. They will never trust you again. So this is another important lesson that we need to keep on inculcating in employees when we run the organization. So if you have any questions, you can stop me and ask me. Otherwise, we'll take questions at the end. Okay. Can you read that? I don't know. I hope all of you can read this. Kanata? Okay. ಆಯ್ತು ಸರಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಮಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ನಾನು, ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಓಕೆ. ಕ್ಲೈಬ್ಯಂ ಮಾಸ್ ಮಗಮಃ ಪಾರ್ಥ ನೈತತ್ವೈಯುಪಪದ್ಯತೆ ಕ್ಷುದ್ರಂ ಹೃದಯ ದೌರ್ಬಲ್ಯಂ ತ್ಯಕ್ತೋತ್ತಿಷ್ಠ ಪರಂತಪ. ಇದು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ. ಇದು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀರ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಇನ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲಾ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಕಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್, you would have mentioned this. So I'm bringing this in the context of mentoring. Mentoring is a vast topic, right? Mentoring is not correcting. Mentoring is not ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರನ್ನ ಬೈದು ತಿದ್ದೋದು, ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೆಂದರೆ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಓ ಪಾರ್ಥ, it does not befit you to yield to this unmanliness. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O vanquisher of enemies. In this, is Krishna praising him or scolding him? Please raise your hand. How many of you say he is scolding him? Raise your hand. Be confident. Confidence. Raise your hand fully. Okay. How many of you think that he is praising him? Okay, almost 50-50. But if you look at it, he's doing both. He's doing both at the same time. He's calling him Parantapa, vanquisher of enemies. At the same time, he's saying that this does not befit you. This unmanliness does not befit you. In many areas of mentoring, this is the technique I have learnt and used. So that is, there is a good performer, he has stopped performing well. He's facing some kind of challenge, he's lost interest. ಮೊದಲಿನ ಥರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಆಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ, ಏನಾಯಿತು ನಿನಗೆ, ಯಾಕೋ ಲೇಜಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪೆದ್ದತನ ತೋರಿಸಿದೆಯಾ, ಯಾಕೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬೈತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನೂ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೈಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವನು. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, he is emphasizing, oh vanquisher of enemies, you are capable of doing this, but what you are doing now, or your behavior now, does not befit you. Does not befit you. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪ್ನಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಸಕ್ತಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಯಾರೋ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯಿಂದ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಅವರು 1 ವರ್ಷ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು. 1 ವರ್ಷ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರು. 9 ತಿಂಗಳಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ರೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದೆಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಅಷ್ಟು ಹಗುರನ, ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೀಪಾ, ಒಂದು 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮುಳುಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಉಳಿಯತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನೀನು, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡದ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು ಮೊನ್ನೆ. ಅವನು ರೆಸಿಗ್ನೇಷನ್ ವಾಪಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದರೆ, ಅವನು ಮಾತಿಗೆ ದಟ್ ಹಿ ಆನರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಲಿವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಥಾಟ್. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಶ್ಯೂರ್ ದಟ್ he needs to do, he does what he needs to do. And this is one of the ways in which you mentor. One of the ways in which you mentor. Idana as a teacher, as anybody, it can be practiced. Initially ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವೆನ್ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲು ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಯಿಂದ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗಿದ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಫೀಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಡೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ತ್ಯಕ್ತೋತ್ತಿಷ್ಠ ಪರತ್ತಪ. It's only when I went to corporate life that I saw that this can be used as a mentoring tool also. And that I have used. So when you have high potential and high past performance and low current performance, that is how you deal with them. So I'll go through, I have I think 5-6 minutes. Okay, I'll go through this quickly.
10 minutes.
So the last one, the last but one. So patriotism. So see, I might have done something here. So what is patriotism? ಸೊ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾಟಿಸಮ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೂ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಭಗತ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಯಾರು, ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾರು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು 4ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 5ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆಂದರೆ, ರಾಣಾ ಪ್ರತಾಪ್, ಶಿವಾಜಿ, ಭಗತ್ ಸಿಂಗ್, ಆಜಾದ್, ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಆಜಾದ್, ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ, ನೆಹರು, ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವೈ ವರ್ ದೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಪೇಟ್ರಿಯಟ್ಸ್? Why? Heli. They love their country, right? Love of the countries is patriotism. But that's not just that. Bhagat Singh and others, they laid their life, right? Gandhiji went to jail. So they not only loved their country, they were also willing to make sacrifice, right? So that is the definition of patriotism. Okay, in fact, when I left Vidyashala in the autograph book, Narsim Maharaj wrote to me, patriotism is love for one's country and love is sacrifice, right? So who is a patriot? I mean, you can name them. The first thing that comes to mind is a soldier. right? Because even though he gets a salary, he has his life to lead, he is willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of his country. Teacher. Do you consider a teacher a patriot? Why? Can you repeat that? Excellent, excellent. So a teacher's job is like running a plant nursery, right? The best seeds, the best, and he takes care, gives them nutrition, and then he hands it over to somebody else. Innellara nedri, channa pala kodutte. 1000 ತೆಂಗಿನಕಾಯಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಥವಾ 2000 ತೆಂಗಿನಕಾಯಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, whatever, right? So they put in all the effort to make a sapling that is so good that it can yield a lot of fruit to somebody else, right? So, and that somebody else is the nation, family, whatever, right? So, but they themselves, ಅವರೇ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಆ ಹಣ್ಣು ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್. That requires sacrifice too. So, teacher, doctor, nurse, COVID time, I don't want to spend too much time on that. You already know, we call them COVID warriors, patriots, right? They risk their lives. So, sannyasis, are they patriots? Why? So they are not, so Swamijis are not going after becoming a COO, CEO or anything, right? Earning a lot of money. They are not. They are focused on not only pursuing their own spiritual life, but also molding the next generation of students like you. And that's what. So what is patriotism in corporate life? So there is a different kind of patriotism. So we don't have to go to jail like Gandhiji. We don't have to sacrifice our life like a soldier if you are in a corporate world. How do you practice patriotism? So I'll tell you, ನಾನು ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ 12 ವರ್ಷ ಅಮೆರಿಕದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಬರಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಏಷ್ಯಾ ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಜಿಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ, ಸಿಂಗಪೂರ್, ಹಾಂಗ್ಕಾಂಗ್, ಕೊರಿಯಾ, ಆಲ್ ದ ವೇ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಮಾಸ್ಕೋ, right? I was managing all of these customers. We were bringing in a lot of money. I was working for an American company. So I met my classmate Ramesh, Dr. M. Ramesh, owner of the Anugrah Vitala Nursing Home, Bangalore. So he told me once when I met him, Mahesha, ನೀನು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೋ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಯಾಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು? ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡು, ಅದೇ ಟ್ಯಾಲೆಂಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ 1 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಮೈಸೂರು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಜಾಬ್? I'll give you some example about Excelsoft. ನಾನು Excelsoft ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ about 400 people, 1 office in Mysuru, right? 3 laptops, 3 cars. There were 3 laptops, there were 3 cars and 1 office. Now, Excelsoft has 1,000 employees, has offices in Hyderabad, in Noida, in Bangalore, in Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur, in Boston, USA, right? So our customers have also expanded. The UK government is our customer, New York State is our customer. So we have expanded. Today, in Excelsoft, we have 1,000 employees, everybody has a laptop. 600 people have a car. 600 people. From 3 cars, now across all the campuses, we have 600 cars. How do I know? Because we register all those in our software. So everybody, about 300 of them have built their own house. So the nation's wealth has increased. Probably we have delivered software and got an export revenue of probably $150 million, right? So that much foreign exchange is necessary. You know that how much we import oil, right? A lot of our foreign exchange goes to electronics and oil imports. So unless, and at Excelsoft, we are able to do all of this. We are able to help the nation while also helping ourselves. Are we making sacrifice? We are not making any sacrifice. Everybody is paid a good salary. I am paid a good salary. I am not making sacrifice. But we are still building the nation. So this is a different kind of patriotism. But we work very hard. We work with ethics and honesty. I've seen my boss walk away from $1 million deal because there was a bribe expected. Okay? So we work very hard and we seek excellence in everything we do, and we create wealth for the nation. Okay? And that is the kind of patriotism most of us, almost all of us can practice. All of us can practice this. You don't lose anything for yourself, but become excellent in everything you do and create wealth for the nation. You can do that as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, even as a corporate citizen, as a manager in an organization. You can still do that. You can grow the company, and that creates wealth for the company. That will advance the nation. That is also another kind of patriotism. Okay? So it is something that we have to practice every day in our life. And the last one is the secret strength. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ದು. ಇದೇನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೇನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಹೋಲಿ ಮದರ್ ಶಾರದಾದೇವಿಯವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ, ಯಾರು ಸಮರ್ಥ ರಾಮದಾಸ್ ಇದ್ದರು, ದೆನ್ ರಾಜಾ ರಾಮ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ರಾಯ್, ಸಮಾಜ ಸುಧಾರಕರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದ್ದರು. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ರಾಜಾ ರಾಮ್ ಮೋಹನ್ ರಾಯ್, ದಯಾನಂದ ಸರಸ್ವತಿ, ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಥರ. ಅವರು 19th ಸೆಂಚುರಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದರು, ಆದರೂ ಹೋದರು. ಏನೋ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು ಹೇಳೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇತ್ತು ನನಗೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದಲೂ ಬಂದಾಗ. ಆದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿನಿತ್ಯ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಗುರು ಮಹಾರಾಜರಿಗೆ ಆರತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಗುರು ಮಹಾರಾಜರು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ, ಗುರು ಮಹಾರಾಜರ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆಯೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಏನಿದು, ಇವರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಬದುಕಿದಾರಾ, ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ನಾನು 7ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು. 7ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ, ಆರ್ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಅಲೈವ್? ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಲೈವ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಸ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಟು ಅಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ಅಸ್. ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಒಂದು ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ, ಹೋಲಿ ಮದರ್ ಶಾರದಾ ದೇವಿ ಆರ್ ಡಿವೈನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ who are still there, who can listen to us, who listen to us, and we can reach out to them, right? This faith slowly started becoming stronger and stronger, and continued even after I left Vidyashala because of the company of Swamijis. So ಇದು ಏನು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇದಿದ್ದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಭಯ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಹೇಗಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಬ್ಬ ಬುಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬುಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಏನೋ ನನ್ನೇ ಹೆದರಿಸ್ತೀಯನೋ, ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಗಾಂಚಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀಯ ನೀನು, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇದು ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪರಮಹಂಸರು ಕೊಡೋ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೂಡಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನೋ ಗಾಂಚಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನೋ, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋವಂಥ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಫೇತ್ ಇನ್ ಗಾಡ್, ಶ್ರೀರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇವರಿರ್ಬೋದು, ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಫಿಯರ್ಲೆಸ್. I want to say that again. Once you are convinced that God can listen to you and you belong to God, that He is somebody close to me, once you have this, you become fearless. Once you become fearless, there is nothing that you cannot do. Whatever you set out to do, as long as you work for it. So this is a statement from Leonardo da Vinci. This is the only statement that is not from Swamiji. O Lord, thou givest everything at the price of an effort. So effort is still required. Hard work is still required. Learning is required. Working well with together, thinking, loving people around you, everything is required. But you know that as long as you do it, you will be successful. You become fearless. I hope that you absorb these. And if there is some of this that is going to help you, I'll be very grateful. Thank you. And I'll take questions. Yeah. Okay, excellent question. So what are today's problems and tomorrow's problems? For that, you need to think about that. Today's problems, 21st century problems are, one is energy. Energy is a big problem, right? Sustainable energy. Climate change is a big problem. Anything that can reduce, that can generate energy in a sustainable manner, in a significant capacity. Today, solar, etc. are there, but they are still not able to replace petrol, diesel, or even coal for that matter, right? Anything that you can do to help increase the energy supply in a sustainable manner will help. Anything that can solve the waste generation problem. How can you convert waste into useful stuff? If you can come up with very clever ideas, that can become very useful to the whole world. Anything that you can do in identifying and removing disinformation, to be able to fact check and remove the falsehood from truth. That is the biggest challenge in the information age, right? There is so much, there is explosion of information, falsehood, and what is real, what is unreal. Oh, sorry, that's a spiritual question. What is true, what is not true? Okay, if you can sift that through artificial intelligence, you must have heard about ChatGPT and so on. If it can be done in a reliable manner, that will sell like hotcake. Okay, there are many other areas also, but we'll take other questions. Yep.
Sir, can you share the journey from IIT aspirant till you left the IIT, and can you please share your All India ranking?
Okay. So I did not take JEE and join undergraduate. I took entrance to master's exam and graduated, right? So I did my undergraduate in BE Mechanical Engineering, and I wanted to be a teacher because I was inspired by teachers here, and I thought that being a teacher is being a patriot because you are giving to the society. After 5 years of teaching, I felt that I wanted to learn something more. In the meantime, my interest had changed from mechanical engineering to computer science. I was teaching mechanical engineering, but I had started becoming interested more and more in computers. So I decided to take the entrance exam. I brought some 20, 30 books. I was a lecturer, so I had all access to the library. So I spent a whole year training myself. Go to the lab, write programs, read books, discuss with, my students in elements of mechanical engineering were computer science students. I sat in the class with my own students who were in a different branch, and I learned. So essentially, confidence that I can change that branch and go to IIT, I can get admission to IIT, I can compete with IITians. I had the confidence and I had the determination to do it, and I invested a lot of effort. For about a full year, I invested a lot of effort. Okay? And I was willing to learn from anybody who could teach me, and I was able to get in, and that is how I entered IIT.
My name is Shivam from class 12, sir. I had to ask you a question about how IIT, I'm taking IIT help you for the corporate world, sir.
Studying in IIT gives you some degree of fundamental knowledge, right? I mean, your fundamentals are absolutely thorough. So which again creates confidence. Today, as a COO, I don't program, right? But I still understand everything, computer architecture. I may not know how to do it, but I know what others are doing. And if they come and bullshit in front of me, sorry for the expression, if they try to fool me, I can immediately figure it out, right? That is purely from a computer science point of view. But the rest is learnt later on. I don't think I learnt it in, but that confidence which I mentioned again, right? Going to IIT gives you confidence that you have worked with the brightest minds in the country, and you are able to you're able to still be with them and succeed. That means you can succeed anywhere in the world. That's how it helps you in corporate life. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Anmol. Sir, what strategies did you use to globalize your product, sir?
Right. So some of it was done before I joined Excelsoft. What I did was, one is I lived in the USA for 12 years, right? I understand the US culture. I had great exposure to the US culture. So I thought that US is the biggest software market. So let me use everything I have learned. And not just USA. In my previous job, I was responsible for all of APAC. I've worked with customers in Australia and New Zealand. Kind of a great global exposure gives you confidence. Then you devise strategy as to what is important to them. Always think about what is important to them. Build trusting relationships. In the interpersonal relationship, I don't know whether that bullet point came there or not. Making sure that the customer trusts you first. So the customer will not buy from you unless they think you are trustworthy. Especially large software that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. They will not buy it unless they know they can trust you. Because sometimes the software is not there. Can you build me this software? They will ask you, right? How will they trust me? So building that trusting relationship is the key. Everything else, you need to have the ability to build software, but more importantly, your customer needs to trust you. One example is that a customer in Rexburg, Idaho, had never been to state of Idaho. They had never heard of Mysuru. They entrusted, after 2 conversations, they entrusted Excelsoft to build a very big software. Even today, they pay us about $500,000 every year. So they did not know anything about Excelsoft or Mysuru. It's how you build that trusting relationship that is a secret of growing business. Question?
Please be fast.
I see many hands, but the phone is not. Where is the mic?
Oh. Please be fast.
I'm Yugavan KF 9th B. What is the nature and what is the nature of work? Means what do you do? Means you.
So, this is a question my daughter asked the other day. So during COVID, I was working from home, okay? And I was always on phone calls and meetings, right? Video meetings. And I said, Appa, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೋ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಯಾಕಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಅವರೇ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರ್ 2 ವಾರ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ 2 ವಾರ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲವರು ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಹೋಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ what exactly are you doing? The problem is identified by others. The solution is identified by others. The actual work is done by others, right? And they report to you. And when they don't do it, if they don't do it, you become angry with them. What exactly are you doing, right? So essentially, if I want to summarize this, Excelsoft's business has to grow. Our employees have to be happy. They need to be paid well, right? Whatever that the organization needs to do to achieve these. And my customers need to be very, very happy. These are the 4 things, right? Excelsoft business has to grow, revenue has to grow. My employees have to be happy. Our customers have to be happy. And whatever it requires to be done, building the right software, thinking the right strategy for sales, making sure that delivery is done on time, it is of high quality, everything fits into it, right? So if I am proud of something in Excelsoft, not only that we have grown, now ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಮಾಡಿದವರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕುದುರುಗುಂಡಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಹತ್ರ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಬೆಳೆದವರು 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ವರೆಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಓದಿದವರು. ಕುದುರುಗುಂಡಿ, ಪಾಂಡವಪುರ, ಶ್ರೀರಂಗಪಟ್ಟಣ, ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರ, ಕಡ್ಕೋಳ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್. None of them came from IITs. I'm the only one from IIT. Nobody came from IIT. I'm very proud that we were able to take employees who did not have great background, stellar background, supportive background like you have, and still convert them into globally competing, competitive professionals. That's something that we are very proud of.
Good evening, sir. I just wanted to ask you about, based on your personal understanding and experience, what does it take to become a responsible leader?
What does it take to become a responsible leader? I mean, you can Google this and find the answer, okay? There is plenty of it online, but let me share my experience with you. So, one is, I think there are a few things. One is you need to have empathy, right? So, again, I go back to Vidyashala. Sureshananda was a leader. ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಹೊಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೊಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. But still, we knew that there was no malice behind it. There was love behind it, and therefore we loved him, we loved Vidyashala, everything. So you need to have empathy, right? Empathy is for everybody. Empathy is not just for your employees. Your employees, you should have empathy towards them. You need to have empathy towards your boss. You need to understand what boss's challenges are, right? And think of how do I solve that problem. Boss's challenges are mainly how to grow the business, right? And understand what the challenges are. You need to have empathy towards your boss. You need to have empathy towards your customer. You need to have a passion for making your customer successful. It's not just about getting money, right? How do I make my customer successful? What exactly will make that person successful, right? So, and then what should I do? And then you don't have to get all the answers. You ask the people around you. They will tell you everything, right? Sir, if we do this, our customer is going to be happy. Okay, let's do that. If at the same time making money for us, right? So the most important attributes are empathy, competence. You need to be able to manage everything, and you need to be able to build software and deliver software. Empathy, competence. Probably those are the two most important things.
We'll have two more questions, one from Angad and another from Rahul. Please.
Sir, from your personal experience, sir, when you talked about mentorship, sir, you said that when we scold and both praise the person we want to mentor, he is able to rise up, sir. But then you said it won't work when asakti illa anta. So from your personal experience, sir, when something happens when he's going through a certain stage in life, he doesn't have any interest in anything, how do you make him rise up and how do you give him that flair of imagination?
Excellent question. Excellent question. ಆ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ there you need to again have empathy and try to understand why that person is going through that problem, right? Is it because he does not have the skills and competence, right? Can we provide that through training? Who is the person who is closest to him, right? Can we do something? For example, somebody has lost interest because he's scared, right? Was come newly. Can you create a buddy? Can you attach him to another leader who has the right personality, right? At a junior level, so that they can say 2 or 3 years senior to that individual and make him a buddy so that they can coach them. Understand, is there a problem at his home? You ask the HR team. Quietly find out. You don't ask, okay, as a COO, you generally don't ask, because then everybody will keep coming and telling you about the problems in their family. You ask the HR to find out quietly what is bothering him. Is there a problem in his family? Is it a health issue? Is his parents sick? There can be a number of things, and all of these happen in a corporation, okay? So you need to figure out what it is that is depressing him, and then find the right medicine. So for example, recently there was a person whose mother had cancer, right? So once we learned that, we created a funding with some contribution from everybody to get him that money. That is what was pulling him down. He never told anybody. Okay, similarly, you will have to have that ability to go and find out what exactly is causing and addressing that problem. Okay.
Hello, sir. My name is Rahul. It was like kind of related to the previous question. How do you work with arrogant people? Like, they'll be like, I know more than you, so like, this is my way. So how do I work with them? Like, to bring them in your way. You know that that's correct, but they are arrogant. They don't want to follow your way. How do you make them come with your way and make the thing done?
Right. So are you talking about how to reduce our own arrogance or correct somebody else who is arrogant? Both can happen. Okay, all right. Okay. So actually the first one is the bigger danger, okay? So I don't have, I mean, I have seen this obviously in corporate life, right? So one way of doing it is try to find somebody who is more competent than that person, right? And bring him along, or him or her, okay, in an organization. Somebody thinks is extremely good in technology and architecture, right? So I quietly bring somebody else to speak about architecture, right? And then ask this guy, why don't you explain? And that person has already spoken. Obviously, he is much greater knowledge. And he doesn't claim that he is the greatest. But this guy who thinks he is the greatest, then ask him, how exactly do you do it? And then he automatically realizes that he still has ways to go, right? And this cannot be cured in one shot. This has to be done in various ways. You praise other people in front of him. You deliberately praise. For example, every arrogant person has probably two good skills, but 3 other deficiencies, right? You praise someone else for that strength that somebody else has. Then this person's arrogance starts. He starts seeing that there are other things that are of value which I don't have. That reduces their arrogance. I hope. Thank you. Thank you. Swamiji, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, sir. That was a very enlightening and inspiring speech. Sir told us about his experiences in Vidyashala, about the importance of leadership. He spoke about confidence, interpersonal skills, mentoring, and patriotism being highly important for a good leader. He also mentioned about his secret strength. He told that the post or position you are in does not bring you leadership. I thank sir for addressing this gathering. I now request Swamiji to give sir a memento as a token of our appreciation. Every year, for the Jayantis of the Holy Trio, a competition is held for writing their sayings. The winners are awarded prizes based on their memory and their perfection in writing the sayings. Now the winners of the Holy Mother Teachings Writing Competition will be awarded prizes. I request Mahesh sir to give away the prizes to the winners. From 8A, first place, Vineet. Second place is Tanmay. 8B, first place goes to Revant Raj. Second place goes to Lokesh. 8C, first place, Dhanush. Second place, Ayush. 9th A, first place, Likhit NR. Second place, Deepak Gowda and Darshan AC. From 9th B, first place goes to Abhinav DP. Second place, Manhit. 9th C, first place, Tejas PN. Second place, Parinit. 10th A, first place, Amay. Second place, Shreya Sarvin and Aditya RG. 10th B, first place, Preetham HC. Second place is Chetan MG. 10th C, first place, Jay Pranav. Second place, Chandas. From first PUC, First place, Vijay Simha. Second place, Manoj Gowda. And third place, Parikshit V, that is myself. From second PUC, Harsh Naik, first place. Second place, Satvik SP. Third place, Tushar. Thank you, sir. We will end the program with Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.